All right. I had to beat this level twice because the first time I accidentally beat it on my laptop without recording. Well, I did record, but I lost the recording and it was really bad. So I had to rebeat it, and that's okay. Because honestly, the levels is a lot more fun than I was expecting. Adjusting for all of my attempts on my PC and my laptop. My second completion took me 1,007 attempts. My first completion took me 1,366 attempts, and my overall attempt count is 2,373 for both completions. I'll have all of that in the description. I'm pretty sure I have this right. I like triple checks myself. Athanatos by Exenity. This is another really old level. Just like with Plasma Pulse 3, I've pretty much always known that this level has existed. Just like Plasma Pulse 3 again, I've always thought that the level was really cool. This is probably one of my favorite hell theme levels in the game. I know a lot of people find the use of the Falling Mists as a song for a hell level like really weird, but I think that this level pulls it off really well. Going through the level, like especially when you get to the second half, you feel like the level is like falling apart as you get farther, as the song gets more intense. It's a really cool level. I like the level a lot. Despite the fact that it's, it's a really old 2.0 level, I've always had a soft spot for it. This is just a really cool level that I've always had like a soft spot for. Despite that, for the longest time, I thought that this would be a level that I would despise because of people like Brandon Larkin and AeonAir, who they both absolutely despise this level. It was their least favorite levels in the game whenever they beat it. I did not think that this was going to be good. I thought this level was going to be trash, and because of that, I went into this level expecting to hate it, and I'm actually very surprised to say that despite the fact that I did have to rebeat this, it's really fun. So the gameplay, there's two sections. There's the first 50% and there's the second 50%. I'll start from beginning to end. The first 50% is, in my opinion, the harder part of the level. It's much more consistent though. Like towards the end of my time playing this level, I was able to get to the drop like every couple of attempts simply because of how consistent the beginning did get. I didn't like it as much as I liked the second half though, namely because the first ship and the first UFO are both extremely inconsistent. The first ship and the first UFO are both incredibly weird and very awkward. I basically have the same complaints about both. The timings, or the orb timings required in both, are just very awkward and never felt truly natural. I will say that the UFO was very satisfying to pull off. So was the ship, actually. They're both pretty fun, but they were just really inconsistent. But once I was able to get consistent with those parts, the first 50% flowed very well, and I was able to get past it almost every attempt. I will say that for some reason, I kept choking 49% and 50%, like the clicks right before the drop, which was really frustrating, but I don't think that's a level fault. I think that's just a skill issue. Moving on to the second half of the level, this is where a lot of people have an issue with the level, because the level becomes inherently a lot more luck-based and a lot worse. It is very weird, but I found it really fun. I actually really like the second half of this level. It's super fun. There's a lot of stupid stuff in it. There's like the 60 ship, which has an invisible upside down transition, which makes the straight fight really tough. There's the robot right before the dual wave, and the dual wave itself, which a lot of people complained about. Hot take, I actually found the robot harder than the dual wave in my entire time of playing this level, both during my first completion and my rebeat. I died to the dual wave once. It is not hard. I did not find the dual wave hard at all. I think it's incredibly overhated. Like, I really didn't find it difficult. Everything past the dual wave's kind of weird. There's the wave where you kind of have to like spam through some really awkward gaps, but I only died to that once. And then there's the whole ending sequence, which is really awkward, but I only died to that once. It was during my second completion. My first time I beat this, I ended up fluking this from 69%, which I'm still gonna claim as my fluke because that was my first completion of it. Unfortunately, I beat it on my laptop and I did not have my recording software set up properly, so the recording was so grainy and so gross, I just decided to rebeat it once I got home. And luckily I was able to beat it in like an hour, like as a rebeat, so that wasn't too bad. I did get very unlucky with the rebeat, but I still fluked it for 69%. I'm still taking that. That's my fluke, and no one can tell me otherwise. Back to the gameplay. The level is really fun. I really did enjoy it. It was so much more fun than I was expecting it to be. I don't know. There's just something that's so satisfying about it. The way the movements of the ships, the UFOs, and the cubes work. It's just such an interesting level, and you don't really see levels like this anymore. Levels that are so rough around the edges. And honestly, I love it for that. The Athanatos is a really cool level, and I'm a really big fan. As for difficulty, I don't know why, but I was expecting to find this harder than like Black Blizzard, which is not true. I barely found this harder than Bloodbath. It's probably a bit harder than both Blade of Justice and Bloodbath. I don't think it's harder than Asmodeus though. I wouldn't call this much harder than Blade of Justice, honestly. It's really not as hard as I thought it was gonna be, and that coupled with the fact that I thought I was gonna hate the level probably contributed to me enjoying it so much. So overall, if you're interested in the Athanatos and you're willing to put up with the fact that the second half of the level is so weird, give it a shot. It's honestly pretty fun. I really did enjoy it. I would just say, be wary of stuff that can be like chokeable in the second half, like the robot before the dual wave or the wave at like 80. Just be careful of those parts, and honestly, it's a pretty fun time. time. I really did enjoy it. But yeah, that's pretty much all I got.